get into David Goggins, man.
David Goggins, I feel like, has jumped the shark. And he probably actually has jumped a shark. Like, I bet I could jump a shark. I bet I could throw this football over that mountain.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
I liked him when he started, like when he wrote the book and stuff, and he was on podcasts.
I read Can't Hurt Me. It was great.
Yeah. But then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I wouldn't want to have a beer with him. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
seems like a real buzzkill.
You think he'd want to have a beer with you?
No, he would not.
Yeah.
So I guess the feeling's mutual. So I can go ahead and say that I'm getting more and more turned off by David Goggins.
All right. So I'm sure that the people know who David Goggins is, but let's watch a couple of videos just so they can get a good picture.
He thinks he's a bad boy. He came in town talking about, oh, I'm going to film me ripping David Goggins' ass in the gym. Where's your camera? Don't you want to film you kicking my ass in the gym? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think he takes a little bit too much pleasure in humiliating people.
That's how humility feels.
But
This one video went viral and he posted it on Instagram. Some guy was like, my wife wants to divorce me and she doesn't love me anymore. And I guess it was good advice. He was basically just like, she doesn't want you. Suck it up and move on. That was his advice.
I think that's probably good advice.
But he goes, your feelings are getting in the way of you doing what needs to be done. And it's like, okay, but we're not fucking robots. You have to experience those feelings, learn from them, and then grow from them. You can't just fucking be like, I'm over her. Let's go do some push-ups and write a fucking book.
But so easy. But wait a minute. I mean, I haven't seen that clip. I would imagine David Goggins would say, well, I wouldn't want to be married to you either because you're fat and you're weak and, you know, you need to have self-respect and quit being a jelly rolled donut or something really humiliating like that. Is that what he said?
So I think it's good to worry about your fitness. I think body before mind. But I think it comes to an extent when you're spending 6 hours a day working out.
Right.
I think you could probably
other
be doing
things
better
are suffering. Trust me. Let's let's get David Goggins' wife on this podcast and see what she has to say about all this nonsense.
I listened to him on the Andrew Huberman podcast, and he basically says, like, I don't have time for my wife. I don't have time for my kids. She knows that. When she signed up for this deal, I'm like, you mean marriage? When my wife signed up for marriage, I basically told her that I don't have enough time for her. I need to be running 50 miles between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. I don't have time for my kids. I'll provide for them and I'll give them money. Emotional support, though? No, it's not going to be there. I'm like, dude, that means you're a shitty person because you're selfish. You're worrying too much about yourself.
Except that he's being upfront with everybody ahead of time.
Was he upfront with the kids that he brought up into this world?
Ooh, good tip. Good point. Touche.
I mean, if my dad was just like super rich and famous but never had any time for me, I'd rather have a broke dad that could toss the pigskin with me.
Okay, but what about this? Kind of what you had, which is a broke dad who still didn't spend any time with you.
Yeah, fuck you, man. No, but seriously, I think
I'm just kidding. We spent a lot of time together.
I think he's flawed. And like, I have a buddy who kind of has the mentality, just all grind. Like, we need to work out 3 hours a day. And he even talks about, he's like, man, I don't have time for these females. Like, when I have a wife, like, she needs to know that I'm going to be working on myself all the time. It's just like, dude, like when I have kids and a wife, like my main purpose in life is going to be to provide for them and to spend time with them and to be a good father figure. When I'm in my late 40s, early 50s, whatever, when they go off to college, then that's when I can have my midlife crisis and go to fucking Cabo, drink pina coladas on the beach.
Right.
Like Stapler dude from Office Space.
Right. It's a stapler.
My stapler.
My red stapler.
Well, actually, you moved me down and you took my stapler.
I ordered a pina colada. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, if you're spending 3 to 6 hours in the gym every day, something else in your life is suffering for that.
Yeah.
There's not enough time.
I mean, that's what I said in episode 1. Like, don't make it your personality, you know? If you're making the gym your personality, you need some other hobbies.
Yeah.
Like, I signed up for a marathon in December. And so I run 3 miles every morning. And on Saturdays, I do a much longer run. And I'm going to keep upping the miles every week. That takes less than an hour of my time. Sometimes a little bit more, but I wake up at 7 a.m., I get it done, and then I feel great and I'm energetic the rest of the day. I might be a little fatigued just from running, but that's why we got Celsius and Josh Wine. Keep us going.
Here, pour me a little dram.
I just think that people need to find a balance between be healthy, work out, lift weights, cardio, all the business.
All the business.
But when you're spending, holy shit, 6+ hours in the gym working on yourself, that's just not a life that anyone would want to live. Yeah, you're gonna look great, but are you making enough money? Are you socializing? Right. Do you have any other hobbies? Are you finding a girlfriend? There's many other things to life than just lifting weights and running and becoming the most athletic person in the world. It's like a middle schooler. Like,
I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah. No.
A lot of people say that nothing's impossible. Shit, I even said that nothing's impossible several times in my life. I lied. All right, everybody, you see me smiling? Why? Because it kind of sucks out here in New York City.
One example that we are seeing take off is fitness. And speaking of that, I think it's time for my workout.
I'm back, motherfucker! I usually don't think too much. Get my shoes on, head the fuck out. I've been thinking a lot. That internal voice has been talking to me.
Who is going to carry the boats? So that is a good question. I mean, if David Goggins isn't going to carry the boats, probably nobody else is.
To an extent, like, I think there's more beautiful things to life than just fucking running and being, like, I don't know, man. I think if you take this mentality and you put it into a project or your career or something that you're really passionate in, then that's totally justified.
I'm gratified that you got that right, justified.
What the fuck?
Who's this guy in the bra?
Yeah, why is that up there? Okay, so I do get his point of doing extremely hard shit because it toughens the mind, which in turn helps you in every other aspect of life.
Yeah.
That's why I signed up for a marathon, because I want to push myself to the limits and develop more mental toughness. I don't know if there's a but to that. So I kind of do agree with him in the sense that
his joints are going to be shot by the time he's 50.
He is 50, Dad.
Okay. By the time he's 60.
He's 49, I think. Or he turned 50 this year.
Okay, well, never mind. Everything he's done. He looks very young.
Yeah, I wonder why.
He's pretty fit, I've noticed.
Yeah. He does get like shots and injections in his knee. He pumps out this like liquid from his knee.
Well, see, if I had that, I could be doing a lot more. I have so much fluid in my joints.
Yeah, not from working out.
It's from the gout.
The gout. Don't get the gout.
Nobody cares about the gout.
No one cares about the gout, man.
You don't see people wearing pink ribbons for the gout. Where's my gout gala?
Dad.
What? I'm serious. Nobody cares, and it afflicts millions of men.
Yeah. Is it hereditary? Am I gonna have that? I will have the gout.
You might.
But I work out all the time.
Then you probably won't get it because.
And I don't.
My doctor says if you sweat once a day, you won't get the gout. Well,
I was gonna say, well,
if you sweat once a day, you're not gonna get the gout.
I also don't drink, so.
Yeah, I don't either. That's that good shit right there, that Josh.
So what do you think? Do you think
I think it's
young
full
men?
of shit.
You think it's full of shit?
Yeah.
But we need to be more specific for the viewers because I kind of understand what you're saying, but everyone watching might not. Do you think it's all full of shit, or do you think a part of it is because working out and doing hard shit does callous the mind?
He's found a niche in the marketplace. If you said who is the most fit, leanest, hardcore workout guy, he's the guy.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 people say David Goggins. And so he's that guy. And so he has to be, he's almost built himself a prison, if you will, a prison of his own making. But now he has to be that guy.
He wrote Can't Hurt Me before he was famous, though. And so that's always been his mentality since he was 23 years old. I read the entire book. I thought it was phenomenal. It actually is the book that got me into the gym. I've been skinny fat up until I was 21. 3
Yeah.
years later, I built a lot of mass, mainly because I read that book and it gave me a lot of motivation.
Yeah.
But now that I went through that grind phase where all I cared about was working out, like I watched Sam Solik videos and the Trend Twins and stuff. Now I've realized, okay, working out's great. It's does wonders for your productivity. Don't make it your personality, make it your mentality.
Oh, nice.
Anyways,
Don't be jealous because I've been chatting with babes all day. Napoleon.
LaFonda. All right, let's not get off topic.
Yeah.
I love Napoleon Dynamite. He kind of spreads this thing where it's like, don't waste time on females. Females are toxic. They'll take away your time. And it's like, I understand that when you're single, say you're like fresh out of a relationship and you're single. Yeah, I think it's a good time to work on yourself. And I don't think you should be in a relationship until you're comfortable with yourself. But, you know, like in Good Will Hunting, he doesn't give the best advice as a therapist. He basically just wants Matt Damon to...
Let's talk about that. Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting, like, I always thought, oh, he's such a cool character.
He is.
And then
Dad, we were stoned. I think it...
We rewatched it, and all he would talk about is that dead wife of his and how great she was and how Matt Damon, needed to find a dead wife like he did.
Well,
And
because I think he found his soulmate, and that wife made him a very happy man up
I
until
think after she died, he glorified her.
he
I bet
developed
he was
this perfect version of her.
Yeah, I think he was kind of pissed off about her sometimes when she was alive, and then
Obviously, Dad, people are pissed
Okay,
off
well,
about every relationship you're in. You're going to be pissed off about some stuff, but it's the stuff that you love that matters.
he never talked about the bad stuff.
Call me corny. Yeah, but why should he?
He gave terrible advice. He should have stayed in Boston and got a good job instead of chasing that girl to California that he just met 3 weeks ago.
You do have a point there. But let's not get too off topic. What do you think?
About what?
Do you think that the viewers, if you're in your 20s or late teens or early 30s or whatever they may be, do you think that they should follow David Goggins' advice and only focus on themselves and work out for fucking 4 hours, do the most intense shit every single day? Or do you think, there's a balance in between? I'd like to hear your input because I feel like I've been talking the most. And you're smarter and have more life experience than me.
Here's the thing is that there's something to be said for focus. If you really want something, if you want to be the workout guy, like that's your, not only your hobby, but your career, then yeah, maybe go for it.
Give it your all, yeah.
But, if you're going to put that much time and attention into something, other things are going to hurt, So do you want balance in your life? And I kind of don't even like that word because but you don't really get anywhere with balance. You do have to put extra focus on the one thing that you really want, whether that's a relationship or a career or you're an entrepreneur or working out. So, when I started my business, I was just completely laser focused on that. Mm-hmm. Like I had a family and I basically was obligated to do that, but everything else was building the company, everything. And I didn't work out. Like to my health, to the detriment of my health, I felt like I didn't have time. I mean, it wasn't, if I were working out, I would be obsessing about what I should be doing,
Yeah. So I'm a little conflicted because I do have those thoughts because obviously like I'm trying to start a channel and it's almost like a whole brand, Dog Party. I want to make very big one day. And that's all I've been studying is editing, blah, blah, blah. But I watched like a Mr. Beast. It wasn't from Mr. Beast's channel, but Jimmy was talking about how all he did with his roommate was focus and work on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then he was like, it was a 600 day before and after like workout challenge that he did with his other friend, who's also a creator.
Yeah.
And they talked about how all they did was work on YouTube and they got kind of out of shape. They were kind of like chubby and they didn't look good at all. And then they did this challenge after they made it and now they're both really skinny and fit.
Yeah.
So a part of me thinks, man, do I just drop the gym? Do I drop this marathon and just focus on YouTube and just only focus on that. Like wake up at 7 I do wake up at 6, 7 a.m. almost every single day, and I start working out. And then I start my day around 9 after I've had breakfast and after a shower and after a workout.
I think
but the
that
workout
gives you
helps
energy.
Me, it helps me focus.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enhancing. I would drink coffee. So, I came from a different age though. Nobody,
I love coffee.
only weirdos worked out.
Only
it was-
weirdos worked out? That is so flawed. What you just said.
When I was
You
your
think
age,
Arnold Schwarzenegger was not?
yeah, he was a weirdo. Nobody. That was like a microcosm of the culture. When I was your age, nobody was working out. Like gym memberships weren't even really a thing. They weren't.
Gold's Gym started in what, the 70s?
Yeah, Gold's Gym. That only meatheads went there. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking about mainstream, like LA Fitness and those kind of gyms didn't exist. And if you wanted to work out, you went for a walk or a jog. But very few people lifted weights.
Really?
Very few.
You think Goggins has
He had
a part
yeah,
in
absolutely.
that whole culture? Well, then
It started before Goggins, but yeah.
But that's where I kind of refrain from my original statement that I think he's actually a good person. Obviously he's a good person, but
Yeah.
like I read his whole book and he's been through horrible things in his childhood and adolescence. And so I totally respect the guy for getting through all of that, going through Hell Week as a Navy SEAL like 4 times or something outrageous. Like he really is someone to look up to. And so I refrain my original statement by saying I do think he's making a positive change in Gen Z men.
Yes.
But I think some men take what he's saying and apply it to an extreme. Like they're overdoing it. They don't focus on their social skills or talking to women or just enjoying, plain enjoying life.
Right.
Like that's where we go back to the statement of should you have balance? I hate that word too.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that
Balanced
you don't.
people are lame.
I think
They're
it's important that you don't burn out in whatever you're
Right.
doing and that you practice your social skills, maybe a hobby. I play guitar. That works great for me when I'm stressed out. I don't know.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say, though. I think
Yeah.
some people just need to
Right.
don't just.
Here.
All right, you go.
David Goggins is a net positive for our culture and our society. No doubt. And there's no doubt he's an incredible, remarkable man for what he has overcome. I just think he's annoying. And so I just find it annoying.
Who's going to carry
And
the
it's-
logs?
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's,
the
just,
boats?
it's kind of a repetitive thing. Like every time you see a clip pop up of Goggins, you know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. It's stay hard. And, all the, and so it's like, but, I'm not his target audience.
Yeah.
He's targeting young men, and I'm an old man.
And I don't want to say I fell for it because that is truly what he believes in. It's not like he's a con artist.
Right.
But I totally bought into that idea of the grind mentality. Like about a year and a half ago, once I finished Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
And I even, I read half of his second book, Never Stronger, Never Better, something like that.
Yeah.
And it worked great for me because it got me to where I am today.
Yeah.
You remember, I was skinny as fuck. I was a skinny little stoner up until I was about 21, and I built some muscle. And
You were a skater boy.
I was a skater boy.
Now you're, a gym douche.
See you later, boy.
No, I remember when you were really into Goggins, your brothers were worried that you were turning into a gym bro.
Yeah.
And I think some of that might have been jealousy because they aren't that fit. But yeah, they were like, we worry about Wyatt. He's going to be one of those guys that just, all he talks about is the gym and hanging out at the gym. And I was like, it's a phase. Everybody,
Yeah. And now I still love working out. And even
You got me into working out.
You lift weights every day, and I love that.
I never have worked out in my life. Never. And every now and then I go walk on a treadmill or just, performative. I call it performative working out. Really just, I need to get out of the house. And I'd go, walk and then go have a margarita. So it wasn't really.
Yeah.
But now
you
I
probably gained more calories than you lost.
Yeah, of course. But I enjoy working out. I don't work out hard. It's pretty light, but it's enough that it builds a little mass up here.
Oh, I've totally noticed
it's fun.
When we were moving brick the other day into the backyard. I could totally notice your biceps were looking huge.
Yeah.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
I very much respect that you got
And
into
my,
that and you stuck with it. Because it's very hard to develop habits, especially when it comes to working out. So that's awesome.
My girl remarked on it today.
Good shit.
She's like, oh, yeah.
Millicent?
And then I didn't listen to anything else. I was just,
Millicent was complimenting you?
yes.
That's awesome, man. Isn't that the best feeling?
Oh, it is.
Right.
Now, she
When
might have
when
been
you-
bullshitting me because I was kind of fishing for it, but
But when you get to finally taste the fruits of your labor,
the labors. I tasted
is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we're coming to a good stopping point. I think moral of the story is, yes, it's good to develop some mental toughness. It's good to get
Good
yourself
habits.
into the gym. Yeah, develop good habits. I think it comes to an extent when you're spending all the time in the gym and that's all you're talking about, because that's what I fell into. And like you said, my brothers were worried that I was becoming some gym douche.
Right.
A real douche.
Little did they know, it was too late.
You know what? It turned out great because now I'm not a gym douche and I don't spend all my time in there, but I'm still healthy. I still work out, and then it helps me be extra productive and extra focused, flow state, if you will, the rest of the
Yes.
day, so I can focus on my business or YouTube channel, whatever
Right.
you want to call it, dog party.
Listen, David Goggins is a net positive, and, thank you for your service, sir. Nothing but respect. I just wouldn't want to hang out with him, have beer.
Me neither.
We were going to give the dogs a doggy treat for each
Yeah.
time that each new subscriber we get on the channel.
Yeah, so for every video, every new subscriber, the dogs, Biscuit and Milo,
They get a treat.
They get a treat.
However,
So if y'all want to see them get fat as fuck, please subscribe. Please like, comment, subscribe.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Damn, she's 91 years old.
Yeah, and she looks it. I mean, she's about to keel over, old dog.
Don't say that.
David Goggins would not allow gnats, probably because he doesn't allow food in his studio.
Who's
and
going to spray
drinks.
the gnats and the mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes? Yeah, try snuggling when David Goggins is here.
So we got,
Is he going to come kick our asses?
yeah, I know, right? I'm scared now. I'm locking my doors tonight. We got 10 subscribers on the last video where we're talking about Theo
Yeah.
Vaughn. So we'll run a clip of the dogs eating 10 snacks right now. And for every subscriber we get for this video, that will be an extra treat for the dogs on the next one, next weekend.
Let's get our dogs fat as fuck.
Can't leave you hanging.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.